today's video we're going to have a gentle, slow living vlog. Just me and Sissy cuddle up in our cozy home for the next 2 days. I really want to focus on being a cat mom for the next 2 days and simply stay at home, read on the sofa and cuddle up with Sissy. Besides that, I also need to do some planning for some renovations for my cozy home. Unfortunately, I need to postpone the kitchen renovations and focus on replacing all the windows, which is not something I'm looking forward to, but I'm taking you guys along with me for that little bit of a process, for the planning at least. And we'll have a French, not so healthy, inspired dinner and also a little bit of journaling therapy session towards the end. So if this feels like a slow, cozy vlog that you might enjoy, then I would suggest make yourself a nice cup of tea or coffee, make yourself cozy or comfortable, and let's enjoy these 2 next days together. I'm going to make myself a nice cup of tea so we can have like a little chat, because I also want to give you guys a little bit of a health update for Sissy. We'll start with that. I'll make sure to put like timestamps in the description box down below in case you want to skip ahead to certain other parts. But if you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Juliette and welcome to this little cozy place on the internet where I share my new country life and I talk about all the simple joys of life, books and all kinds of other stuff. So if this might something be you could enjoy, then why not become friends? And you can click the subscribe button if you want, and I'm here for you each Sunday with a new video. But further than that, let's make a cup of tea and cuddle up. So I decided to cozy up on the ground next to Sissy while she's taking a nap for a little bit of a health update. I want to thank everyone so much for sending me messages on Instagram asking me how Sissy has been doing lately, about her health and how she's been getting accustomed to our new house. And because of this, I decided to give you guys a little bit of an update during this video. And I also know we have a lot of new friends joining our little community. Thank you so much for doing so. And because of this, I want to give you guys a little bit of a background information. I haven't given an update since August, so I feel I should kind of like give a little bit of a summary of what has been going on for the last year. Sissy and I both went through a very rough period in 2025. We ended up moving twice, in March and in December. Around the same time she was diagnosed with a chicken allergy and we had to switch up her food, which was actually very hard to do. Like, don't get me wrong, finding cat food that is chicken free, snacks, dry and wet food is ridiculously difficult and also a lot more expensive, but obviously everything for my little baby. So we had to switch up food. But when around the same time she got ill, she needed an operation to her mouth and that didn't really go that well. She ended up getting an abscess on her throat that ended up being a huge lump from 6 centimeters wide. She ended up scratching this open, having a hole in her neck. Then she ended up having an eye infection. Then she ended up having a lump on her head. And between all of this time I had a breakdown. I ended up being at home since September 2025, recovering from a burnout and depression, still doing so. And all of this together with moving again, all the vet visits, so many stressful things happened. It has been really difficult. She is, however, really enjoying a new house. She hated the apartment that we lived in for a couple of months, but the new house she loves, especially the garden. The garden is her place. She loves running around and she definitely has been a lot more playful, really slowly becoming herself. Like, she's the Sissy again I haven't seen for more than a year, so I'm really grateful for that so immensely. However, she's still scratching herself like crazy, getting more bald spots. Everything that happened, the vet and I decided that we had to give Sissy her regular chicken food again, because Sissy wasn't eating her other food and she needed to eat because of all the medication that she was getting in 2025. When that stopped, we were moving, we were renovating this house and all this kind of stuff that I didn't really pay attention to it, which I should have done, but I didn't. And she has been scratching herself a lot. Obviously there are a couple of reasons for this. We don't know exactly what it is. However, the vet thinks it's still probably a chicken allergy, despite Sissy also being stressed. For now we are going to switch over her food completely. And hopefully this will help, because I don't think she's that stressed anymore, because as I said, she's slowly getting back to herself, so I feel she is getting better. So we're switching over her food today, which is a very exciting thing, and I'm going to show you guys in just a sec. I ordered some food from the brand Jack Russell's. It's not an ad, this, like, it's just me trying something out. I saw a couple of people talking about it, being very happy about it, and I thought I would give it a try. And it is also quite affordable. It's supposed to be chicken free, so we'll see how this goes. And I am also on the lookout for chicken free snacks and chicken free vet food. And hopefully this will help determine if she even has a chicken allergy. I hope she does, because that will be like the fastest and easiest way to stop the scratching, because she can't scratch her head because of the lump that she has, which is very annoying, because I already talked to the vet and mentioned that I kind of want the lump to be removed. I know this is going to be another operation, which is also, yeah, I'm a little bit torn in between, because it's very difficult to tell your cat not to scratch herself. She's going to be checked out very soon, probably next week. And then we'll hear what they say. In the meantime, we're switching over to cat food. Hopefully this will help. Obviously there's a transition period, like we can't change her food in one day. It will probably take about a week until she's able to have only chicken free cat food. But anyhow, I think we should wake her up and give her her food, because it's time for lunch. I am so excited for the little picture of her. I must admit, I'm really curious to see if she even likes it. So I'm gonna try it straight out. Sissy, darling. Ooh, I think she likes it. Do you like it, pup? Yeah. So I've been reading this afternoon and I only have like 100 pages left, so I hope to finish actually the book later this evening. I'm currently reading The Knight and the Moth by Rachel Gillick. I love Rachel Gillick's writing, like One Dark Window, like the Shepherd King duology was like one of my favorite series last year. It was so amazing, loved everything about it. This one, however, I have my doubts a little bit about it currently. I like it, but I'm not feeling as connected to the story, the characters, as I did with One Dark Window. Like, I really love the characters, the magic system, the world, everything in those two books. In this one, I am currently not. I feel the story is very slow. I'm not entirely sure where it is exactly going. In this book we are following Sybil, and Sybil is number 6 of the diviners of a little convent called Aisling. And a diviner is someone who can tell the future from someone else. And Sybil, she's called number 6 actually in this book. She needs to tell the future of the king. And when she actually does this, she tells him 5 bad omens for his future. And they're a little bit shocked, disappointed, hope for a better future, obviously. They get a little bit better acquainted, the knights and the diviners. And Sybil, together with the other 5 diviners, decides to leave Aisling and have fun with the night out in the town. When they actually get back, suddenly all the diviners are slowly disappearing. And number 6, Sybil, is the only one left, and she wants to know what happened to the other 5. So she goes to the king, asks for his help, and that's kind of like where the story kind of sets off. There's a lot of traveling to different places. There's a gargoyle who is actually pretty funny, and a lot of knights. There's some romance slowly developing, however I'm not entirely sold on it currently. And it is fun, like, don't get me wrong, I love Rachel Gillick's writing style, it's really fun to read. It's just not as good as I expected and hoped it to be, but I'm still having a fun time, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen in the last 100 pages. I'm kind of like hoping that it will get better, because currently I'm also not entirely sure if I want to continue it. So I'm kind of like hoping that the last 100 pages will reveal something that makes me curious to read the sequel. However, it is almost 6 o'clock and it's time for dinner. I'm going to make a very unhealthy dinner actually. Like normally I know in a lot of these cozy vlogs online, people always make like these very lovely, amazing recipes and very healthy as well. I'm not. I'm going to have a very unhealthy dinner today and maybe also a weird dinner, but I don't care. I did some grocery shopping yesterday in France and I got a couple of my favorite things from the grocery shop over there. It's like a 2-hour drive from where I live. And we do this quite often actually. And I've got a couple of things that I love. So I have got amazing biscuits for tonight. And before that, I will obviously have my dinner where I'm going to eat some French crepes. And I also have Belgian waffles. So yeah, it's going to be a very weird but fun, delicious, simple dinner. And very unhealthy as well. But I can't wait. I'm really excited for it. So here, as I said, we have my very unhealthy dinner. I've got a Brussels waffle with some red fruit and cream and my book later. Then we have the crepes with some sugar and I am currently watching The Lincoln Lawyer season 3. So yeah, I'm all set and I can't wait to dive into this. Good morning friends, it's already the other day and I'm not planning on taking you guys along for the full day. I will take you guys along for the next couple of hours because I have a very bad headache and I kind of want to go back to bed again. So if I sound a little less enthusiastic or if I look a little bit disheveled, I'm sorry, it really is because of that. I did finish, let me show you, The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillick, and I must admit I liked it. There were definitely some elements that I did enjoy, like the magic system got more interesting towards the end. I did like the world. I love the dark and moody gothic vibe this book has. However, the characters in the story I felt very disconnected of. And it just didn't really hit with me, to be quite honest. So I'm really sorry if you love this book. I didn't. I definitely prefer One Dark Window so much more over this. I think I'm setting this for 3 stars. The writing style is still amazing and I loved quite a lot of things about it, but just the story overall, I felt it was very slow paced at the beginning, very rushed in the end, and it was kind of like as if this could have been a standalone, but something happened at the end which is going to make it into a sequel. And I felt that that was maybe a little bit unnecessary and the book probably could have been better if it was just focused on the first storyline that is wrapped up at the end. And I also felt that this storyline was very rushly wrapped up and could have probably taken up a little bit more pages and maybe less pages in the beginning, more pages towards the end. But it was still an enjoyable read, like don't get me wrong, I had still fun reading this book. Currently I am looking into a couple of companies for the biggest renovation for my cozy home this year, and that is going to be, unfortunately, the window frames. I wanted to do the kitchen, but I have been living here for a couple of months now in my new house since December, and I've noticed that especially the upstairs windows, I can't wait any longer. Also, one of the roller shutters downstairs broke and needs to be replaced as well. And yeah, that's going to be a lot of money. Like, I've been looking into the prices and I know it's going to cost quite a lot of money. Fortunately enough, I wrote it down, a construction deposit in my mortgage. So that's great. I hope I'll be able to use as much from that for the window frames. There are also some funds that you can get for sustainability. And yeah, I am currently looking in all of that, and I'm also currently kind of like checking what I would like. I don't think I've got the money for the windows and the window frames that I would prefer to have. Like I would love a different color on the outside, white on the inside, and have those cottage type of frames. And like I'll show you a picture of here right now. That's kind of like what I would have loved. A lot of money went into buying this house, obviously. And that's the reason why, for example, when I started the living room makeover, I'll make sure to put it in the description box down below. Like I uploaded that last week. It is kind of like budget friendly. It's not done yet. There's still going to be a couple of little things that I am adjusting in the living room. And the bathroom makeover for next week as well, which I'm going to share with you guys, is also quite budget friendly because there went way too much money into buying the house. And I need to do the window frames. So that's quite unfortunate. Especially the upstairs window frames and windows, everything needs to be replaced. Downstairs is probably going to be optional for me. Momentarily, they're not that bad as upstairs, so I probably could wait. However, there are a couple of reasons why I would prefer to do everything at once. To start off, I do not have to think about it anymore, and then it's that job done and I can focus and save for other bigger projects in the near future. And another reason is simply I'm a little bit afraid that if I wait too long to do the downstairs window frames, I might not be able to get exactly the same ones as I will have upstairs. So yeah, it's kind of like need to check everything. I'm going to measure the windows today, send out all the information to a couple of different companies, and hopefully I will have some invoices very, very soon. After that, I'm actually planning on doing my therapy homework because I do have therapy weekly. And I've got like a therapy session tomorrow and I still haven't done my homework, so I need to do that. And just do some journaling as well because that is really helping me. Like I love journaling, but I've definitely noticed that writing a lot of things down, not only for therapy exercises, but also simply for myself, is really helping me kind of like be a little bit more calmer inside my mind and relax a little bit better. So that was actually a pretty hard therapy homework session. I'm currently like writing letters to myself as a child, and it is kind of like really hard. There's just a lot of emotion coming up to the surface when I start writing, and it is really weird how it kind of like works. It's kind of like weird to write letters to yourself, but it's already weird when there's like also a lot of emotion coming out of some very dark places inside of me. So it was a really difficult therapy homework session, but at the same time also very productive. And if you ever are thinking of writing a letter to yourself, I would just say like try it out. It is hard and I don't like it, but at the same time it feels like I'm setting something free inside of myself, and it feels really good afterwards. However, the process of starting it and during it is not my favorite, but it's part of the therapy sessions that I'm currently doing, and it is just really hard to work on myself and my inner self and all that kind of stuff. It is hard, but well, That being said, I also sent out a couple of messages to different companies for the window frames, and I really hope to hear back from them very soon. And yeah, I feel pretty fulfilled for today. I am, however, going to close up this cozy vlog, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I feel this might have been a little bit of a chatty one. I'm really sorry for that if that's not like your cup of tea. I also want to thank everyone who has been subscribing for the last 2 weeks, because there have been so many, and I want to thank you so extremely much. Stay tuned for a bathroom renovation next week. I'm really excited for that as well. Let me know in the comment section if you have any upcoming renovations for your cozy home. I would love to know that as well. If you have no idea what to say, then leave me a flower emoji. You get to choose whatever flower you want. Put it in the comment section down below. And again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you guys. I'm sending you all a very big hug, and I hope to see you next Sunday for another one. See you then.